Hey everyone, welcome back to the Brandon Breeze GunTube channel. What are we looking at today? It's going to be the best mod that you've probably never heard of for your Glock Gen 3 pistol. If you are curious, you're going to want to stick around and we'll talk about why Gen 3 is so important. Well, the Gen 3 platform is still absolutely everywhere because it's the longest running generation that Glock has had, right? They finally just discontinued it, so everybody has these things. They're laying everywhere. They're hard to find here in California, but they're very easy to find in many other states, or at least a lot easier to find than here. So if you've been paying attention closely to this, you've already seen what I'm going to be talking about. Is it a mag release? Is it optics? Is it sights? Is it lights? None of the above. So we're talking about this little guy right here. That is a Gen 4/Gen 5 style magazine release for your Gen 3. So why is that the best mod that you've never heard of? Well, I don't see these. I don't see people talking about them. Like, I found them on a random internet search and I was like, dude, that is the best thing ever. So why is that? Well, you know, say you're out there doing your shooting, run out of bullets, reach down, bam. Don't really need to change your grip. And I need to change your mag, reach down, minimal grip change. Whereas we've got the regular Gen 3. I have to dramatically change my grip to get there, and even then, it's still harder, much harder to press. This is a Vickers release, which has statistically been my favorite release for many, many years for the magazine. Well, you're asking yourself probably at this point, like, well, why don't I just get a Gen 4 or Gen 5 mag release and put it onto the Gen 3? Well, you can't, and I'll show you exactly why. Because when you go to the person that makes this, to their website, they explain it, but it's kind of hard to understand. So I'll just show you. So here's the difference. So this is on the right side of the frame. You can see this is a Gen 4/5 style, and this is a Gen 3 style. So this is a lot longer on the right side of the frame. So if you look here, you can see this is much longer here. And of course I didn't bring my shadow systems, which is where this came from, but this is the same as the Gen 4, Gen 5. It's shorter here. So if you tried to do that here, you would have a gap right here, and that wouldn't work because this hole is already cut. So unless you want to go in and glue all that, then you're not going to have that. This manufacturer makes them extended, so you can see it's longer than the factory would be. Makes it that much easier to press. Makes it very, very easy to reach with minimal adjustment to your grip. And for a lot of you guys that have even longer hands, you'll have to make 0 adjustments to your grip. You'll just be able to reach down and drop that mag. So that is one way to bring your Gen 3 up to the Gen 4 and Gen 5 spec, so to speak, as far as your magazine release goes. So you can see here that it is extended a little bit. Let's compare it to the Vickers from Gen 3. So you can see that sticks up and out a little bit. This one sticks up and out a little bit, but of course you get the extra length to go along with it, which makes it that much easier to press. You get a lot more surface area. So here's the Gen 3 style versus the Gen 4, Gen 5 style. So what does that give you? Well, you get a lot more texture, easier to articulate and press, easier actuation, because no matter where you press it, even way on the back, it's going to drop your mag, right? You don't have to press it all the way at the front like you do with the regular Gen 3 release. So why is this mod so underrated in my opinion? It fixes a real limitation in the Gen 3 platform. And I'm sure those of you that have shot Gen 4 and Gen 5 versus a Gen 3 would not disagree, right? You just can't, most of us aren't going to be able to reach that button without adjusting the grip. And of course you can train for this, so it's not that big of a deal in the overall grand scheme of things. But if you can fix it for a couple of bucks, as of this video, I think these are about $22 for the updated mag catch release. Very, very nice. It's also going to improve your speed without changing your fundamentals, right? This isn't something you're going to have to relearn because it's in the same place. It's just a bigger button, easier to press. And as you see, it modernizes it without having to buy a whole new gun. So if you already have one, you can do this to it and not have to go and buy another one. Not like just this mag release button is going to make you buy a new Glock, right? But if you can update it to what the newer Glocks are like, why not? So who would this be for? I'd say for most of anybody, right? Competitive shooters, easier to press the button. Defensive shooters, easier to press the button. Home defense people, easier to press the button. Anyone who hates breaking their grip to drop that mag. And the cost to benefit ratio on this is super high. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure these are only 22 bucks right about now. And that costs less than just about any other mod that you can buy, besides like maybe a single pin or something like that for your Gen 3 Glock. You're asking yourself, if it's so good, why aren't more people talking about it? I think a lot of people just don't know about it, is what it kind of boils down to. So how about reliability concerns? So far I have these in several platforms, as you saw. I've kind of rotated through at least a couple of them here. And it works perfectly fine. Haven't had a single issue with any of them. Been down many range trips. Works great, retains the mags, etc. The one downside, literally one downside, is that you do have to permanently modify your frame. And I'll link the video that has how you do that. So when you buy these, if you're only buying one, or even if you buy 6 of them, you're going to want to buy the jig that comes with it. I think it's like an extra 10 bucks. It's 3D printed. It'll show you, it'll have holes that you have to drill, and you follow those holes and you take the scalpel and you cut out this little piece and then you install that, right? So that's what makes it so good, in that it won't press when it's in your holster, or if you just set it down on the counter or something like that. You're not going to just accidentally press this button, because it actually is now part of your firearm, right? Whereas those other ones that are just add-on, like screw-on buttons, those stick way out, and they would be great for competition, but for, you know, practical purposes, not so much. Anyway, I think this video is going a little bit long, but if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you would use this, or if you wouldn't, make sure you put a comment down below. Thanks, guys.